But obviously these guys are all racers, so maybe that might have been a heavy heart to do that, but yeah.
Absolutely, I mean, you had basically having to really fight through the rest of the season. This time, McLaren are really supporting them, and they have got a spare car to be able to take whatever parts they need off of that if there's any kind of issue. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether that car gets back up to speed or not. First lap completed, and it is Dan Dezil that has the lead in the number 19 Ferrari. Michael Igo, 98, kind of getting back where we would more expect him to be, because that car yesterday was in a world of its own, frankly, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if that Nissan might get a slap on the wrist. Obviously, he's back down the order again. But yeah, it could be a little bit of a slap on the wrist as Dezil there says the fastest lap.
He may well be okay because of the fact that he basically handed that position back. Oh, and Jonathan Wright in the 911 car, challenge on Josh Jackson there. That's GTB versus GTH. The Team Hard Janetta is a GTH car, but that was a big lunge by the 911 that is driving out for David Franklin to score. Do you see there's a big puddle of water there? Where was that? That's got to be down towards... That's actually on the infield, isn't it? Oh, a big squirrely moment there for the 911 car, but that was some significant standing water on the exit of Palmer by the looks of it, wasn't it? They all kicked it up there.
Yeah, the 911 as well, Jonathan Wright in that Porsche at 911, you know, just about got that slowed down in time at Nelson. And
the Marcos isn't as hard as yesterday.
He's just got to keep his cool though.
I think the Marcos is running
4 minutes
like
into the race.
Yeah, we got plenty of action still to go here. Now, like I say, we're keeping an eye on the 4 car. They're currently sat 13th on the road, 4th in GTH, although the GTH desperately trying to take it to the right of the wire, and at the moment he's sat 4th place, which of course is the second of the GTC cars, because the lead car in this race is a GTC. Dan Dezil under growing pressure from that GT3 variant of the Lamborghini Huracan 98 Michael Igo. Good to see him out in this race. Of course, he is an invitational one for the GTO. That doesn't seem to be making any difference in this race. He's determined to get himself ahead of that GTC. Remember, that Ferrari Challenge, the 488 Challenge car, again is another one that in a straight line is just absolutely incredible. But that GT3 car, Michael Igo sat there in second. It's got the aero that's going to just carry that speed through the corners more.
Yeah, that
and I think it was in the first race it caught fire.
Second quicker than as we make our way now.
Was he?
On towards the left hand of the Agostini. And it looks like it all just
sounds
about
very
in shape
nice
of the boat.
Oh, they're so close there. I thought there was going to be a little bit of contact to the rear corner there of the Dan Dezil car, but somehow just about kept it out, and that has compromised the 98 car, and he's just had to take a breather and allow a small gap to appear again. Dan Dezil actually is the one who probably takes more of a breather because he's not got that GT3 car right up the inside of him. But again, look, he's carrying the speed through Williams onto the Bentley straight, but surely now that 488 is going to be able to apply the power down the Bentley straight. He goes. Now we're looking back from under the bridge at Brundle. What a fantastic sight this is, the sun gleaming over these cars for their final outing of 2019 here today, and so much pace cruising forward in that Lamborghini through the bomb hole. And really this is the part that you're going to see a big difference when we get towards Coram, is he's just able to use all of the speed and power of that Lamborghini, but it's going to be quite tricky to make a pass. He's trying to find the gap as he comes down to the slow. They throw the angles out the back, and Dan Dezil just makes sure and he ain't going to let him through easily.
He made that apex, tried to get it there. Right, the exit there, that's exactly what he's done down towards turn 1, and he's held on for yet another straight.
Absolutely fantastic fight between these two. I mean, it really is a David and Goliath, the GTC versus the GTO car. Graham Tilley in the number 6
car. He's gone for the move.
There he has, he's up the inside, that's that Wilson's well spotted, and he's done it, signed, sealed and delivered, and it was the fact that he was able to carry more of that speed into the corner, wasn't it?
Absolutely, but he's now got to hold on because he'll have another couple of corners. Of course, he's got Palmer now on towards Agostini, then Hamilton, Oggies and Williams before the Bentley straight, so the Ferrari could try and make a move down towards Brundle, but the Lamborghini's got to try and get away now.
Yeah, so through Agostini they're going at the minute, so he's not able to do anything there, and he's got to be aware that the big Godzilla Nissan Nismo GTR of Graham Tilley is just behind him. I would say, looking at that now on the infield as they make their way towards the right-hander of Oggies, loitering very much with intent, and behind them is the blue number 13 Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo car, the other GTC car of James Webb. He's watching his main GTC rival. Up ahead is now the filling in this GTO sandwich. I suppose actually it's a GTC sandwich because he's the filling, but the bread is the GTO cars. Down the Bentley straight they go, and in towards Brundle and Nelson. This again is where you're going to see the 98 car management stretching. Zero difference down Brazil in terms of the points he's going to get from this race, because you score points in your group. He's still leading GTC, but these guys will race anybody that is around them. They don't care about the groups.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of black and white flags on the track.
Okay, so 20 is the Barrow and Morrow who started in that one. That was Barrow started that car. So that's Saxon being BMW, great to see it back out there. Needs to be careful. And the other cars, the 79, which is Sam Random, Team Cars, GT8, and that's a leading GT8. You see that car there now being hounded by the GT8 leader. Oh, there's a big wiggle on the exit of Murray's there from Sam Random, out again in this Team Hard Janetta. This is another example. That's GTA leader versus GT8 leader. They don't need to fight.
Yeah, I'm okay.
They will.
Yeah, they're racing drivers. Of course they're going to fight. One thing to notice as well, the way Tilly currently driving that car, fastest of the speed track all weekend, once again 159.7 miles an hour. He went 159.4 earlier today.
It's not a very long day today.
It is
after this is lunch, and then after that there's 2 races.
But it's a big
there's the all-comers, which is great. There's a big TBR Kerberer, which used to race in this.
Yeah, go for it.
There's 3 basically NASCARs, Ford Mustang, Triumph Dolomite, and then after that these cars go out again for their endurance race.
Still, this battle on the infield is raging though between the He's certainly sat there threatening to get involved, but he's kind of got GTC car ahead of him, GTC car behind him, and it's really, does he need to do it? He's going to be the top point scoring GTO car, because Michael Igo's at Invitational. He would pick up a second place trophy in the awning later at the end of the day, and he does like his trophies to strength, understandably, and that's why he moved from into this to the end of the field, and is exactly that. Is he mean for us to be able to damage the 98 car? Therefore, does he need to make any kind of down there lunge on the down the field?
We've said it again, as I got there, sets the fast lap race 52.7. They're racing drivers. They see a car ahead, they're going to go for the move.
Yeah, they are. Across the line is also now got the 20 car that had that warning.
It's the amateur drivers out in the car.
GTB leading car. Behind them is then the 79.
And then later on in the endurance race, there'll be the amateurs and the pro drivers. When the pros get in, they're silly quick.
Which is Mark Murphy, the Fox Motorsport. Beautiful black and green Mercedes side by side down towards Richards. That looks like Josh Jackson up the inside of the 911 car. That is a GT8 versus GTB, both of them second respectively in their groups, but that was a very, very close battle.
The BMW 1 Series out there, that's been engine swapped to a Lamborghini V10 engine.
First corner, so side by side. Just had that mountain of speed going towards Richards.
He did. Obviously, some of these stuff is that I'm talking about what we can see from our commentary box, and bringing you that information as well as what is happening on the screen. That was the battle we were talking about in 21. Josh Jackson, he is running second. He's really trying to make be able to do now, and it's going to be a great job to be able to get that position. He is, in fact, the leader of the GT8 is a point scoring, so he's actually going to get the points as though he'd won GT8 in this race if he sticks there. But he had a torrid time yesterday, being hit by other people and probably legacy issues of that. David Franklin's car there, the 911, number 911, which is so good, is leading GT8. Jonathan Wright has raced for 4 years, I think he said yesterday, and yet he's out there. He's never been away. See the background there, look, the 44 car, that is the red and white McLaren, the champions elect, John Whitehouse, looks like it was I mean, he sat there 4th place in GT8 as it stands, which
sadly a few cars aren't here today from yesterday.
David Holloway car, 15 is not point scoring.
There's a bright green Lamborghini, like the red one in first. That went home because it wrapped up GTO, so they didn't want to risk crashing it today.
So Graham Tilley is going to get a drive-through penalty.
An old Porsche 997 GT3R, which also again went home, which is sad. I really wanted to see it.
That's going to be crucial. And in fact, they're the ones that are pretty much line astern. They're making their way up toward Williams at the moment. They're going to go onto the Bentley straight any second. Those two, I don't know whether they'll have seen it this time round or whether they'll see it the next time round. The team may be in contact just to get them to do their drive-through penalty as soon as they possibly can. But judging from the start, is that the problem is Peter Pollard, he's been right behind him, we should have then put him ahead of Dan Zim by default as well.
So easy to get involved into that mistake as well. James Webb, that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, exactly right. And look at that on the screen now. We're seeing a great fight for GTB. You've got the 911 car, Jonathan Wright at the wheel. Just behind that is the Top Cats Racing. They were trying to go for the win. In fact, this is the leader of the GTB Championship and the second place in the GTB Championship. So this is a good fight, not just exciting on circuit, but generally for GTB honours at the end of the year. It's a big ask for that Top Cats Racing car. We'll try and do something, but Jensen Lutley's putting that pressure on to do as much as he can. Jonathan Wright, I was told that Franklin's car was going to be in safe hands. Well, Jonathan Wright has shown exactly that. But look at this, we've got a challenge coming down in towards Brundle. Are we going to see the move? Yes, through those Jensen Lutley. He was frustrated with himself yesterday, and Warren Gilbert has pretty much picked up and said, look, he did a great job. He's still getting the turn of the car. Ready to be sold next year. Well, he's just done that like a past master, to be honest with you.
Absolutely, it's like he spent the whole season in that car. It's an absolutely brilliant move. Pure confidence operate. Yeah, pure confidence in that move, and that's what you need.
It is. I mean, look at that through corner in towards Murray's. He's not only got past Jonathan Wright, he's now pulled away. Jonathan Wright is under massive pressure by David Holloway in that Optimum Motorsport Aston Martin. There's the confirmation, the drive-through penalties for cars 6 and 13. So they are actually having a great battle going in towards Williams at the moment onto the Bentley straight. James Webb is really pressurising. Well, I thought that John Whitehouse was going to have a sneaky snifter up the inside of the number 15 David Holloway car, but the Optimum Motorsport John Whitehouse is there. Oh no, but now the 50 cars made a lunge on 911. John Whitehouse is thinking about making a move on Jonathan Wright. I wonder whether something's not quite right with that portion at this stage, but that's another one that he's just unfortunately nicked in that GTB. Onto the infield they go. The Marcus Mantis has just checked out and disappeared off down into the distance. Now I'm looking towards our leader. He's coming down the start-finish straight now to complete, what will this be, his 8th lap with less than 10 minutes left to go. Are we going to see Tilley and Webb come into the pits for their drive-through this time round? I think so is the answer. Yep, they're both into the pits. So in they come to serve. Through goes Seamus Jennings, the number 33 GCAT Racing Force. That puts him now up into 3rd place on the road, 2nd place in GTO. Through come these Michelin off come the speed limiters and off screen those cars. We saw in the practice this morning that when the track was slippy, that the Lotus Evora number 41 car, when it applied the power, it suddenly squirreled over towards the left and it love tapped the barrier.
Yeah, very in practice this morning, and actually the Lamborghini here of James Webb there isn't, so he has to stay behind for now.
That was close. That was coming into Palmer because they're now into our actual eyesight on this infield. Did you know that drive-through only cost them that one place? Such was their domination in the early stages of this race overall. And Seamus Jennings, 33, was the only one that managed to get past these two. But now James Webb is desperately trying to do it. He might be sat there down in, what's that put? That puts him 5th place overall, but he's still the 2nd place. However, there's only 2 cars this weekend in GTC, which means the point haul reduces to 18 and 15 instead of 25 and 18. And we've got the chance.
Really good run now in towards the right-hander of Williams and down the Bentley straight. He's past him. And now moves ahead of the Nissan.
Yeah, goodness me. I mean, he's been threatening this for a little while, but I think that he's frustrated that he got suckered into the out of position start, so he's got himself up past Bentley. That puts him back up into the 4th place overall. As I said earlier, no difference in terms of the trophies and the points because he's the 2nd place GTC. The lead GTC car's just gone across the line, Dan DeZille, number 19. But these two now sweeping round. From our commentary box, we can see this with our naked eye, and it is such an incredible sight to see these GT cars just sweep round Forum at such incredible speed. Throw the anchors out the back, ready for the left-hander of Norris. And now that he's made that with less than 7.5 minutes left to go, he's stretching his legs away from him.
He is, and that will be important for James Webb. It would have been hugely frustrating for both drivers to have that drive down. Just got to keep their heads down now. That was a great move from James Webb. He got straight back on it, straight back to the race mode.
Yeah, I think the thing that was impressive, he did have the sort of like initial try into Palmer, but that didn't work, and he kept his cool, and instead of trying to make a challenge at every single corner, he made sure he could pull the speed through Agostini, Hamilton and Oggies, and then it was into Williams that he then was able to make the move. We've got the 41 Lotus Evora creeping on the infield. Looks like that's going to creep to a stop at some point. Clearly there's an issue with that beautiful Golf liveried Lotus Evora. James Simon's at the wheel of that one, so that's a real shame to see that one. But this is a great fight. Suddenly the 911 car of Jonathan Wright, GTB, is under pressure from Brent Millage, a GTH car, number 54. He's the one that caught the rain yesterday. I told him that he does the radars because he is an absolute rainmeister. But he's now being challenged by, it's John Whitehouse looking towards the outside. That is GTH versus GTH. Brent Millage sat there. He's made up 2 places that time round because into the pits has also come the number 20 car. I missed that one. The BMW of Tom Barrow, the BMW 150 GTR. Now got this place with that. Suddenly changes GTB a little bit. It means that the number 3 car, Jensen Lunn, is leading the way in GTB. 2nd is Jonathan Wright in that 911 car, and that really does change the dynamic somewhat there. So we're down to 5 3/4 minutes left to go. Here's that GTH battle. John Whitehouse having a sneaky look up the inside there at Agostini. He doesn't need to put his nose where it could get snapped off.
Like I say, he's a racer. He sees that car ahead of him. He's going to try and go for the move.
We've also got another 79. That is the Team Argenetta of Sam Randon. He has got a 5-second penalty for track limits, so he's had the warnings. We saw that come up, didn't we? He hasn't heeded them, and he's still gone past the line, and he's now got a 5-second penalty. Where is he sat at the moment? He's in 6th place overall. It's the lead GTA car. He's going to be okay at the moment. That's not going to cost him the GTA lead just. He's going to make it very close as he crosses the line, but he's not quite going to do it. The number 20 car is coming back out again. Back onto the circuit. Probably a bit of a glorified test to make sure it's okay for the pit stop race later. There was a bonnet up on that vehicle. Might not be running 100%. Let's just get into the checkered flag. Yeah, surprising considering it was leading the way at at that point on the GTB. Great car coming in for Paris at the moment. The 911 car of Jonathan Wright, Brent Millage, number 54, and the champions-elect, John Whitehouse, number 44. He just can't behave, can he, and just keep his powder dry. He's got to get involved. Chris Murphy, last year's champions, looking at getting involved as well, number 72, the White Bridge Motorsport Aston Martin. This is a great fight making his way up towards Wilson. Again, John Whitehouse having a look, putting the pressure on Brent Millage. Brent Millage up the inside of Jonathan Wright there, but that Porsche is going to now apply the power and make it difficult for Brent to do anything. Two completely different Porsches. John Whitehouse up the inside of Palmer. Again, he's putting his nose in those risky positions. He just can't resist it. There goes the 41 Lotus Evora leaving the pit, so it did sneak its way back in again, but has managed to get going. Here's an interesting one. That fight between these, was it 4 cars now, because Chris Murphy's there. They've now got the leader. That's on the lap with 3.5 minutes left to go. Thinking about it through Hamilton there. Now they're going to go through the right-hander of Oggies. Is he going to throw it up the inside of Chris Murphy? Not quite there. Remember, this is Blue Book racing, so the blue flags do not mean that the car in front is going to jump out of your way like we see in Formula 1. It is telling the car in front that there is a faster car coming. They stick to their racing line, and it's the job of the faster car behind to go move off the line and get himself past, which he's now done. Past Chris Murphy by the looks of it. The 20 BMW of Jamie Morrow is going very steady on the Bentley straight there, and past John Whitehouse has gone. Brent Millage is going to be his next target. So through past Brent Millage he goes. Still just about, goodness me, it's the bomb hole. Goodness me, even I was holding my breath.
And McLaren's taking full advantage of the car, just out of shape as the Lamborghini goes up the inside. He's really stamping his authority on those cars. Lamborghini is through then, and he's now past those back markers. He's now got clear track ahead of him.
So they come through and start another lap, and I've lost a bit because we've got into power safe mode here, but Brent Millage, not only has he lost that place to John Whitehouse, but he was under pressure from Chris Murphy there, and through up towards Wilson they go, and we need to see, is he going to make that move? That, like you said, that really unsettled Brent Millage the most there, didn't it? He lost out, and what have we got now? It looks like John Whitehouse is now, he's past Brent Millage, he's now applying pressure to the car ahead. That is the 911 Jonathan Wright car as our leader. I've got to sort of catch up with looking out the window and everything. But yes, 98, the leader, is going through. This is his penultimate lap now. Judging from the time that he crossed the line. Round Oggies he goes up towards Williams and onto the Bentley straight, and Dan DeZiel's now the second place car, number 19. He's now involved in the sort of fight between the GTH cars. Chris Murphy trying to move up ahead of Brent Millage there, but not sure that he's going to be able to do it, although he could take full advantage like we saw earlier, and when Michael Igo went through, we're going to now we could see that about turn. But John Whitehouse just patiently sat there, just nipping away. He's now moved himself up, which is actually going to be second point scoring, because the two of those ahead of him are invitational class cars. So yeah, that's the kind of thing we'll have to keep abreast of all through the way. Here comes our leader down the start-finish straight. Michael Igo, car number 98, and across the line he goes. And starts his final lap with just 26 seconds on the clock, and country mile ahead of the 90 car Dan DeZiel now. Here comes Dan. He's got past all these back markers, and he is just over 12 and a half seconds behind. Chris Murphy's having a look up the inside of Brent Millage down in towards Riches, but nope, the 54 Porsche just snaps across the nose of the white 72 Aston Martin. There goes Seamus Jennings, number 33, third on the road, second in GTO. And there's James Webb. Now, is he closing in on Seamus Jennings? He is, by about 3/4 of a second last time, but it's 7 3/4 seconds, so he's not going to be able to do anything. Graham Tilley in 5th on the road. That's still 3rd place in GTO, so a good trophy haul that he's going to have in this race as well as onto the Bentley straight. He's got the Team Hard Janetta number 21 ahead of him. That's Josh Jackson. He's running 9th on the road, 2nd in GTH, but 1st in terms of the points haul, because the car ahead of him in GTH is the 777 Mark Murfitt Mercedes GT4 car. which is invitational in GTA. Yeah, that makes it 3 out of 3 for the trophy hall in GTA, but probably not quite as dominant as we saw him yesterday. Across the line goes that. But our leader is now sweeping for the final time round corner. Here he comes, Michael Igo. He had to work for this one, hasn't he?
Yes, no doubt about that.
Patient in the early stages, and he's now going to come towards the sweeping momentarily along the start of this race. Through he comes, takes the checkered flag, and a great victory for Michael Igo. Frank Pereira will be joining him in the pit stop race later. Also crossing the line there was the 21 car of Josh Jackson. That is the second GJ. Then goes to Marcus Mantis, number 3. Jensen Lund takes GTB honours. Dan DeZille second on the road and GTC honours.